Welcome back. The last video cut off. I guess there's a time limit to this stuff. I did not know that. Should have known, didn't know. Like I was saying at the end of the last video, these are the Diamond Select Ghostbuster toys. I did not continue with the line because I was not impressed with the rest of the line. Honestly, I think the Matty Collector Ghostbusters that I showed you guys earlier were probably the better figures. Some of these have better head sculpts, but for the most part, I think Matty had the better quality. Moving right along, we've got a pretty lengthy amount of Star Wars figures. These I've had for the past couple of years. This is the Star Wars Black Series. They are in 6-inch scale. Most of the other Star Wars toys were about 3-inch, 3.5, 4 inches tall. I have a few of those that I got when I was a kid. They are in a box in the other room. This is our bedroom, by the way. So feel free to laugh at that at that notion. But I don't have anywhere else to put this stuff. I did have them in storage in a garage, but again, that turned out to be not a safe place to put high-end collectibles. So, at least not until we buy a house. I haven't talked too much about the characters, so I'm just kind of scanning over them. Most of you, if you have any kind of interest in Star Wars, are familiar with these characters anyway. So, that's them. Let's see, I've got a ladder in here, so we can get better shots of some stuff. Okay, moving on. We've got DC Collectibles TV show figures. Starting with the Flash here. Flash and Captain Cold. The Flash is probably my favorite show on TV right now. There are several other kinds of shows I like. Several different series I'm watching or have on my DVR, but that's probably my favorite overall. Got some Arrow figures. Got quite a few of those. At the end, we've got a Batgirl that's unrelated to Arrow or the Flash, but it was a cool figure from the same company, so I bought it. Okay, moving on down. We've got some 1966 Batman figures. I know a lot of people think it's cheesy now, but I still love the show for what it was. Not a bad series at all. Look at that. Burgess Meredith. Also got here Batman and Robin 2-pack. Very cool. Moving on down. Now, next you will see my collection of Power Rangers. Yes, I liked Power Rangers. I guess I still like it. I think I was around 10 when it came out, so I was right on the edge of being too old to have been into it, but I like it nonetheless. Got some figures from Mighty Morphin Power Rangers the movie. Got a Power Morpher, which I've been letting my son play with. He's had a good time with that. Next we have my high-end Power Ranger figures from a Japanese company called SH Figuarts. Got most of the main Rangers here. Very cool. Moving on down the line, from the same company, we've got SH Figuarts Sailor Moon figures. When I was in my late teens, I got into a little bit of anime. I'm not a big anime guy, but I was super into Sailor Moon. So that's why you see the Sailor Moon figures here. This is another line of figures I did not finish. The reason being they're expensive for being so small. And, you know, being a husband and father, you have to make some sacrifices sometimes. and I just didn't have the money to finish them. I intend to finish them one day, at least get the last 2 or 3 that I really wanted, but for now, this is what I have, which is still a nice collection overall. And yes, you may have noticed him in the corner here. I have a Michael Jackson action figure. Yes. From the same company, SH Figure Arts, Michael Jackson. It is the Michael from Smooth Criminal, which is my favorite Michael Jackson song and my favorite Michael Jackson video, so I was happy to have him. He's really cool. I've never taken him out of the package, but I think it's cool if one day maybe I would. He's even comes with like a little extra shadow so you can recreate the video. I know at one point they were going to have backup dancers to go with him, but I think they canceled those figures. So, anyway, moving right along, we're going to come to some more super high-end items. So we've got Star Aces Harry Potter figures. They are 6 scale, about 12, 13 inches. Look at the detail on that. I only have 2 at the moment. I've got Mad-Eye Moody in the background there, and my favorite character from the film, Severus Snape, in the front. I did have a Voldemort on order. Had to cancel that due to some financial difficulties. I don't have Harry Potter himself or any of the other kids, but hopefully one day I will. We'll see. Next, we've got one of my favorite parts of my collections. Some more Hot Toys figures. And these are my Hot Toys Star Wars figures, so they are really special to me. We'll start off, we've got Kylo Ren from the last movie, Episode 7, The Force Awakens. Very awesome figure. Next, we've got Rey from the same movie. Yes, she is holding a lightsaber. I won't tell you why, because it's kind of a spoiler, but if you've seen the movie, it's not. So there you go. Next, we have Luke Skywalker. Yes. And yes, I did name my son after Luke Skywalker. He was named after Luke Skywalker and Professor Xavier from the X-Men. Which is funny because I didn't come up with the name. My sister-in-law did. But when my wife suggested, I said, yes, perfect, gold. Let's see. And next we have probably the best looking of the 4 of them is Princess Leia. Look at that head sculpt. That is Carrie Fisher right there. Excellent, excellent work by Hot Toys. Okay, moving right along. We've got more Ghostbuster stuff. Ghostbuster stuff kind of spread out all over the house. We've got a real Ghostbusters Egon Spangler. Got real Ghostbusters Janine and Sam Hain and Slimer. Got some more Mattel Ghostbusters here. 2-pack. Egon, Peter, Winston, Ray. And these are really cool. 12-inch Ghostbusters 2 figures from Mattel. Very cool. The outfits are interchangeable, so if you want, you can have Egon wearing the gray and Ray wearing the tan. Same thing with Peter and Winston. All the accessories are interchangeable. I've never attempted it, but, you know, pretty cool to have. I got them extremely cheap, way below the original price that they were selling them for. Sometimes the store Big Lots can be your friend when they are unloading old toy items. Okay. Going up above, we've got one of my first toy obsessions after I got out of high school. Toy Biz began making the line of Marvel Legends action figures. A few years ago, they switched to Hasbro, and they are awesome. I got out of collecting Marvel Legends for several years, but I got back into it maybe 2 or 3 years ago. I'm what you would call a cherry picker collector of the line. I just kind of get figures that hold my fancy. I'm not someone that needs every single figure. Let's see. Let me move my ladder a little bit so we can see the rest of them. Oh boy, bear with me. Oh boy, not that tall a guy. Okay. Probably seen all sorts of characters here. War Machine, Ant-Man, Kraven the Hunter, Venom! Ooh, one of my favorites. Okay. Winter Soldier, Falcon. Okay.